that's why. Now are we live? Yes, we are. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Nintendofan News Podcast. This is my second episode. Let me know how the volume sounds. Hopefully it sounds alright. That's always the issue with posting these live, is that if no one is there to tell me how the sound levels are, it's hard for me to judge. That being said, I did lower the music volume, so at least hopefully it won't be as loud. I might be a little loud, so I'm gonna try reducing myself a little bit, and yeah, hopefully that should be a little bit better. Alright, so in today's episode, we will be covering a brief look back at the Nintendo Switch and how amazing this console was and how long it lasted. And then we will get into the main topic of today, being the bingo card for tomorrow's Nintendo Switch 2 event. And hopefully, everyone's looking forward to that as much as I am. So, without further ado, let's briefly talk about the Nintendo Switch 1. So, just put my arms down on my chair. The Nintendo Switch 1 was released in, I believe it was 2017, I believe. Let me just double check that. Yes, 2017, March 3rd, 2017. And we had a huge game that was released beside it, being The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Now, I am one of those people who enjoys Zelda, but I wasn't the biggest fan of the new changes that they brought to the Switch titles. I'm fine with open world, but I enjoy my Zelda games to have a little bit more structure to them and, kind of more the Ocarina of Time style. Now, we also got 1-2 Switch, which would later get a sequel, being Everybody 1-2 Switch. And we've had a wide variety of games throughout the past 8 years or so, and everything from Super Mario Odyssey to Tears of the Kingdom and more. It has been a wild ride, and we've even gotten some new IPs, such as ARMS, and beloved Wii U classics like Xenoblade Chronicles X, and Fire Emblem, Tokyo Mirage Session Sharp FE, and a whole bunch of other great games. We've gotten 2 Fire Emblem games, which are amazing quality, and I would even say that you really get your money's worth for either of them. Three Houses especially with the DLC on top of that. You have 4 different routes and a side route if you purchase the DLC. And, we've gotten everything from prior, third party and other consoles as well, such as the Elder Scrolls and a bunch of other great games. So, yeah, the Nintendo Switch was really, in my opinion, one of Nintendo's best consoles that they've ever created. And it was a good thing too, because it was coming off the heels of the badly received Wii U. Now, the Wii U had its great games as well, and it's not without, I give it some praise as well. But largely received by the masses, it was not. And, until the Switch ends, we're still getting great content coming out for it, such as Tomodachi Life, Pokemon, Legends, ZA, and other amazing titles coming throughout 2025 and 2026. So who knows how long the Switch will keep receiving games, but I think the Switch will largely go down as one of Nintendo's best consoles of all time. And we've even received great remakes on the machine as well, from Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door remake to Super Mario RPG, and yeah. Now, the Switch is not without its flaws, for sure. It was the first time us Nintendo fans had to pay for online services. And even though we did pay for the services, they were not without fault. The servers would sometimes have issues, and even playing Nintendo Switch Online games would sometimes carry lag and other unpleasantness. That being said, I do hope that Nintendo continues to innovate and improve upon what they've already built up for the Nintendo Switch 1. And so, I've only bought 2 Nintendo Switch consoles over the years. One was a day one Nintendo Switch, which I gave to my parents as a gift. And the second is a Nintendo Switch OLED, which is my current Nintendo Switch. It's currently what I'm playing all my stream games on and everything like that. Now, if any of you have any questions or comments or anything like that, please feel free to drop them in the comment section, and I will be sure to read them. Now, the Nintendo Switch 2 also received a healthy amount of third-party games. We got 2 Super Monkey Ball games, 2 Bomberman games at the very least, 2 Puyo Puyo Tetris games, a slew of Sonic games, and so much more. It has been a really great generation, and I will be sad to see the Nintendo Switch go. However, tomorrow is an exciting time for us Nintendo fans, because even though we love our Nintendo Switches, at least I certainly do, I think it is time for a change. And that change is the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, this is going to tie into the bingo card because there is a lot of stuff that I want to cover tonight for the Nintendo Switch 2. But before that, before we get to the bingo card, I want to cover some tiny glimpses of news that I've gathered throughout today. Now, today was April Fool's, so hopefully I got a few of you with my joke. But it was also harder for me to go through the news and take everything that I read without a grain of salt, because everything today, everything has to be taken with a grain of salt unless you put time and effort into actually verifying things. Now, thankfully, I did have time to verify a few things. So, Nintendo Switch 2 Nintendo Direct tomorrow will be about an hour in length. So that will be a lengthy, I think it might be even our longest Nintendo Direct. Now, the Nintendo Switch 1, when it was revealed, and, had their stage presence, that was not a Nintendo Direct. This may be the most important Nintendo Direct that Nintendo has ever done. So, I think it'll be a great show tomorrow, and going along with the Nintendo Direct, starting at 10 a.m. Eastern on Thursday, April 3rd, and Friday, April 4th at 10 a.m., I believe, are Nintendo Treehouse events. Now, if none of you are familiar with how a Nintendo Treehouse works, once the games are showcased and, announced, people from Nintendo of America's localization team, they sometimes get together with the developers and producers of the games, and they sit down and they play a few, maybe 15 minutes worth of the game, just showcasing what the game has to offer. So, if we do not get a lot of gameplay tomorrow, we will get it on Thursday and Friday. So I'm very excited about those. That being said, I did not know about them when I went and booked off tomorrow to watch the Nintendo Direct. So unfortunately, I will not be streaming and giving my live reactions for those. However, I think if you are interested in any of what Nintendo has to show off for tomorrow, I think it would be a very wise decision and a wise idea to at least check out the Nintendo Treehouse events, either live or after the fact. I'm hoping to see a few announcements and a few surprises as well. But not all of my Nintendo Direct bingo card predictions are necessarily things that I think or necessarily hope will happen. I mean, there are a few things that I hope will happen, but let's just say that some predictions on this bingo card are not realistic. So I will not be surprised if I do not get a bingo. However, we also know that with any Nintendo Direct, there is always third-party games. Now, so what does that mean? Well, of course I had to include some third-party stuff on my bingo card. Now, I am not the largest fan of some third-party stuff. However, I've listened to the rumors surrounding everything, and unfortunately, I'm not sure if anything will be less surprising for me since I have been paying attention. But we will see what tomorrow brings, and I think it is time for me to get going into the bingo card. So, again, if anyone has any comments or things they want to ask me or anything that they would like to bring up, please do so in chat. Otherwise, I shall get started and let me say that again. Uncover the Nintendo Direct bingo card. Alright, our first one. A Donkey Kong game. So, there have been a number of rumors over the past few weeks, and it's been really heating up over the past few days even, whether it was going to be a 3D Mario or a Donkey Kong game. Now, Donkey Kong is very important to Nintendo right now. Why is that? Simple. Because they are building theme parks. And their newest land, their newest, expansion, one would say, is that they are building a Donkey Kong theme park. And Miyamoto was able to visit the one in Japan, and I believe it opens May 15th. So, but I'm not sure if that is the Japanese theme park opening date or one of the American theme parks. So, what I would like to see from Donkey Kong is basically Donkey Kong 64, but reimagined and revitalized so that it's not one-for-one Donkey Kong 64, but you know how Super Mario 64 went from Super Mario 64 to Odyssey? I would hope it's going to be a game kind of like that, with more open world game and gameplay, and collecting Kong coins or bananas or what have you. I think I'm going to be very excited for this game if it is indeed announced, but we will have to wait and see. I have never played. Nope, that's not entirely true. I have not played for an extended period of time Donkey Kong 64. However, it is indeed a fan favorite. So that was my first prediction for the Nintendo Direct Switch 2 bingo card. The next one is the cost of the system itself. Now, I am not particularly fussy when it comes to the price of new Nintendo hardware. I will pay any amount, really, within reason, for a device. I just love whatever Nintendo brings us. But I am expecting a $400 American price tag, which would be equivalent to $500 Canadian. Now, I have no idea if how right I will be on this price point. Hopefully it's not $500 USD, but it could be. I don't know. But from everything that I've been hearing, $399.99 or $400 USD would be an acceptable price point, I think. I believe the Switch OLED is currently priced at $350 USD, so that's only $50 more for a brand new generation of Nintendo. Our next one is a good one. It is Splatoon. Alright, I've been a fan of Splatoon since day one. And while I may not enjoy the multiplayer as much as I may have in the past, I still love everything Splatoon, whether it's the lore, or the single player, or even the salmon run. Splatoon 3 was probably my least played Splatoon game of the bunch. However, I really did enjoy Side Order, and Salmon Run was amazing as always. But I hope that they put some renewed energy into Splatoon 4. Maybe brings back some classic Splatoon 1 maps, and maybe even bring back some of those silly mini games from the first game. I really enjoyed Squid Jump, as well as the rhythm-based game. I have no idea what they will be planning to do for Splatoon 4. As is the case with Splatoon over the past number of entries, the final Splatfest always dictates in which direction the next game goes. And I believe, let me just double check, Splatoon 3, I believe Future 1. Future, present, or past. I think Future 1. Let me just check my Wikipedia here. Here we are, the Grand Festival. I'm thinking it was probably taken to be the final Splatfest, even though there are still Splatfests happening. It lasted for 3 days rather than the initial 2. Or no. Yes. And the sneak peek lasted for 12 days rather than the usual 7. In addition, we also got to see Callie, Marie, Marina, and Pearl, and the other. Hold on. Let me see if I can remember their names. Shiver, Fry, and Big Man as well. And so, seeing all of the idols up on stage, I'm thinking Nintendo took that as like the big finale, even though it's still going. Now, let me see who won. The results. Team Past actually won. So, I have no idea if there will be some kind of time travel mechanic or something like that. But we'll have to wait and see. I'm gonna be excited for it, and even if it's not our usual Splatoon affair, hopefully it's still interesting and fun. Alright, now we're starting to get into our third-party stuff. Alright. So, Doom the Dark Ages. I've never played a Doom game in my life. Why would I predict this? Well, there have been a number of rumors throughout the past months that Microsoft is really starting to fire up their engines and try and get everything ported to the Nintendo Switch 2. And one of these games is Doom the Dark Ages. I think it could be a technical marvel for the Nintendo Switch 2, in which it could show people really the power behind the Switch 2. And also, it is a first-person shooter. With everything that we have learnt about the Switch 2 in that initial reveal trailer, the mouse mode will be absolutely vital, if not key, for third parties and first-person shooters. As such, I think Doom the Dark Ages will be shown off tomorrow. Will this make me excited? Absolutely not. But, you know what it will do? It will instill hype in fans of Doom for the Switch 2. Now, I think seeing Doom running on a Switch 2 will still be incredible because, we don't often get games like Doom on our Nintendo hardware. But that is my first third-party prediction. I guess non-Nintendo prediction. Alright, what is next? Next is a new casual IP. Alright, so with the Switch 1, we got Snipper Clips, we also got 1-2 Switch, and for the Wii, we got Wii Sports. We also got Nintendo Land on the Wii U. So there is always, at least in modern Nintendo, whenever a new hardware comes out, there is usually something casual, a new IP for casual gamers. So I think they'll announce something like that. Or, and this is not on my bingo card, so that is why I will be talking about it. And this will not count for that space, but they could also reveal a new Mario Paint. I'm not sure which one is more likely. I think a new IP for the casual market would be more predictable, I guess. But we will have to wait for tomorrow. I'm hoping it will use the mouse controls. But maybe there won't be a timer, or maybe it'll be easy to pick up and play. Maybe something multiplayer, so that, you can still share your Joy-Con around. And, with the two Joy-Con both having IR pointers, or mouse con, basically, I think you could have easily two-player mouse-controlled casual game of some sort. Alright, next. Alright, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I absolutely adore Metroid. Whether it's been Metroid Prime 3, 2, 1, Other M, Fusion, Dread, what have you. I am a huge Metroid fan. However, we did see Metroid Prime 4 last week on the Nintendo Switch 1 Nintendo Direct. That was probably our last Switch 1 Direct as well. But why did I put this on here if they showed it off last week? Well, I believe that Metroid Prime 4 will be a day and date launch title for the Nintendo Switch 2. We've seen it running on Switch 1 hardware as well, but with the upgraded power of the Switch 2, I'm also hoping for improved visuals and other graphical enhancements. I'm not sure how much more story we need to see, but I do think that we will be seeing some Metroid gameplay tomorrow, and possibly even on the Treehouse. I think that could be a great contender for what the Treehouse is going to be showing us. At least one of their many games. I don't think I have anything more to add when it comes to Metroid Prime 4. It is looking great. I do love Samus's abilities, and the black and red suit is phenomenal. And I have already started to see some fan art of Samus rocking that black and red suit. Next, the release date. Something I did not touch on for Doom is the release date of Doom, and that is May 15th. Everything, whether it's Doom, whether it's the new Mario Kart Lego set, it's all adding up for May 15th. Lots of stuff is kind of weird on that day, so I am expecting May 15th as the release date for the Nintendo Switch 2. I'm not sure if that will necessarily be the case. In fact, I wouldn't be necessarily disappointed if May 15th is not the release date of the Nintendo Switch 2. But that's my prediction, is that Switch 2 will launch on May 15th. It'll either be May or June, but I will stick with my guns and say May 15th. I don't believe I have anything more to add when it comes to the release date. Hopefully pre-orders will open either tomorrow or throughout the week. I basically have my money ready to go, and so whenever pre-orders open, I will be putting my pre-order in. Next, who is that precious pink puffball? Well, that would be none other than Kirby, of course. Kirby is one of my favorite Nintendo franchises throughout the years. I think I even like it even more than Splatoon, if I'm being completely honest. Now, Kirby, his latest adventure, full blown, was Forgotten Land on the Switch. That came out 2022. So, it has been 3 years since then. We have also gotten Kirby's Dream Buffet, I believe, is what it was called. A smaller entry, but still very fun. But I do believe it is time for a new Kirby game. Now, why do I think this? Well, there have been rumors of either Kirby Triple Deluxe or Planet Robobot coming to the original Switch. However, I'm hoping, I could be very wrong here. Since nothing Kirby was announced last week, I'm hoping that a new Kirby game will be announced tomorrow and released within this calendar year. Now, I'm not sure if it will necessarily be a new title. I hope it is. But it could be a dual pack. But if it's for the Switch 2, my money would be on a new entry in the Kirby franchise that is akin to Forgotten Land. A 3D Kirby, a massive adventure, and yeah, hopefully I'm right. I would love to see more Kirby in my life. You know what? I'll even take a new Kirby Air Ride at this point. And we know that Sakurai has been working on something, and it could very well be a sequel to Kirby Air Ride. We don't know for sure, but I would love something Kirby related. Moving on. Our second third-party Microsoft prediction, and that is none other than Master Chief himself, being Halo. I think Halo could very well come to the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, what am I hoping to see versus what do I want? Well, I've never played much Halo before. I think the biggest adventure that I've ever played Halo was Halo 3 ODST on the, I believe that was Xbox 360, a long time ago, and we played some couch co-op multiplayer, and it was a great time. So, this is why I would love to see Halo the Master Chief Collection on Switch 2. I think getting anything Halo, though, would be a huge win for Nintendo and for Microsoft. And who knows? I think it could happen. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have too much more to add. It could very well be Halo Infinite, I believe is the latest one. I still haven't played it despite owning the Halo Special Edition Xbox Series X. But we'll find out. Our next title. That looks like a familiar logo. That is none other than Star Fox. The last Star Fox game was on the Wii U. Now, it was a very divisive title. While some really liked the controls and how it handled and all that, for me and for some others, the controls were a little weird and janky and wasn't the best Star Fox game by a landslide. However, I am still a fan of the series in general, and playing Star Fox Zero co-op style, that was the way to play the game. Now, whether it's Miyamoto working on it, or I don't know. I don't know which developer could be working on Star Fox right now, but I do hope that we do see the series again. Starlink Battle for Atlas, a Ubisoft title, incorporated Star Fox Team and also Wolf into the story and side quests and stuff like that. It was a cameo, I believe, rather than a very large, important role in the game, but it was still cool to fly an R-Wing and do space battles and all that, even if it did not handle exactly like how a Star Fox game would. Now, there have also been rumors circulating how there may be either a Dinosaur Land Star Fox Adventures title in the works, like a remake, or possibly like a sequel to that. Personally, I'm just hoping for straight out Star Fox. You know, it's always fun to just like do some arcade, blasting through enemies, and you know, taking on huge giant bosses, and you know, traveling throughout the Lilac system. I would love to see Crystal again as well. I think she and Fox made a great couple. I did not play Star Fox Command on the DS, but they could bring her back in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, I don't know. Star Fox. Next. Remember how Breath of the Wild was a launch title for the Nintendo Switch? Well, here it is again. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of the direction that they've taken the Legend of Zelda series, at least with the newer titles. But I do think that if they want to possibly show off the power of the system, they could either make a Switch 2 enhanced version, or simply show how Breath of the Wild runs on the Switch 2 and the increased performance that it has on the system. Faster loading times, possibly some enhanced visual effects. And again, we've also heard rumors of Breath of the Wild being at GDC, I believe it was last year. They had a little tech demo there. Anything other than Breath of the Wild or possibly Tears of the Kingdom. Again, Tears of the Kingdom will not win me this space, but that could be their other title. But other than those two, and possibly the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker Remaster or Twilight Princess Remaster, I don't believe we'll see anything Zelda tomorrow. And I know that may disappoint some of you, but I feel like Tears of the Kingdom just came out alongside Echoes of Wisdom. That was just September of last year, the 26th to be precise. And as such, I think it's a little bit too early for a new Zelda game. That being said, another game that I would love to see in the Zelda franchise would be a new Legend of Zelda Hyrule Warriors game. I enjoyed the first one a lot. Age of Calamity was more for the story than anything. But I would love to see Zelda Hyrule Warriors come back, bring back all of the fan favorite characters, and just I think Koei Tecmo could bring something new and wild to the series. And also, my waifu Midna's in the first one, so that does help a lot. Alright, next. It's going to be a little disappointing for some. Possibly exciting for some. Who can really say? It is the 128 gigabytes of storage. Now, initially, when I was writing this and putting it all together, I put a terabyte. I would love to see a terabyte of storage on a Nintendo console. However, the Switch 2 still has a micro SD card slot. It's supposed to be an express SD card slot, by the way. So faster loading, all that kind of stuff. However, since there is a micro SD card slot, I do not see them going for 1 terabyte of storage right out of the box. Games are getting bigger for sure, but I simply don't see them going for more than 128 gigabytes. Possibly, highest end would be 256. Now, this comes with the upside of, the Nintendo Switch OLED had 64 gigabytes of storage. So, the Nintendo Switch 2 has twice that amount. So Nintendo can make a bigger deal like that. Again, 128 gigabytes is not a lot of space. Now, Nintendo is great. They are masters of optimizing how much storage space games take. I forget the exact size of Breath of the Wild or some of those bigger titles, but again, they're usually fairly small in the larger scheme of PlayStation and Xbox. So 128 gigabytes when it comes to Nintendo-based titles, I think you can fit quite a bit on the Switch 2. Alright, next is our free space. What game do you think, what feature do you think could possibly take up the free space? Well, I'll give you a hint. It has Mario in it. That's right. It's none other than Mario Kart 9/10. We saw this game at the reveal of the Nintendo Switch 2 back in January, I believe. Was it January? Oh boy. I feel like it was January. Was it February? No, you know what? I believe it was January. Yeah, January 16th. Hey, Bloody Hunt. How you doing? Welcome to the podcast, my friend. Hope we're doing well. Now, we have not seen a lot of Mario Kart. We have only seen brief glimpses and short gameplay. We've seen basically that the game has 24 racers. We've seen a large straightaway and 1 course. We don't even know if the game still has anti-grav or gliders or anything like that. We don't know if the game has a single-player adventure mode or mission mode back from the DS entry or anything like that. So there is a lot to unpack when it comes to Mario Kart 9/10 on the Nintendo Switch 2. I'm very excited for Mario Kart. We've been playing, I believe, Mario Kart 8. Whether you count the base entry or the deluxe model, Yeah, it came out in 2014. So we've been playing Mario Kart 8 for 11 years now. That is simply wild. And myself and many others are itching to play something new. I'm really hoping that they keep everything from 8 in there, but they kind of go the Forza Horizon route, actually. In that there is a huge open world for Mario and his friends to explore and race on, and maybe some bosses to fight. Well, not fight, but to like race. And who knows? Maybe they'll change up the formula somehow. I'm a huge fan of the series, so I'm very excited for whatever they manage to pull off with this one. Our next one. Yes. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Not Rebirth. I think it's a little bit too early for that. But Remake was on the PS4. Will it be a cloud edition? I sure hope not, but I think Final Fantasy VII will be on Switch 2 in some shape or form. And I personally am thinking that Remake, if it can run on a PS4, it can run on a Switch too. I'll be very excited to see what exactly fans' reactions to this are, if it does indeed end up happening. And, it's a quality title. I think fans of JRPGs and RPGs in general, everyone knows Cloud, everyone knows Sephiroth, everyone knows how iconic this was and is for the Final Fantasy series. And, Nintendo and PlayStation have a bit of history there. Final Fantasy VII was supposed to be on, I believe it was the N64. But since they did not have it working, they got it shifted to the PlayStation. And PlayStation and Square kind of did buddy-buddy for a few years there. So, seeing Final Fantasy VII come to the Switch 2 would be wild. Very massive for both PlayStation and Nintendo. And you know what? I think it'll come with Intergrade as well. Our next game is... Ooh! Who's that? She's blonde, she's got a sword. Why does that look familiar? Why? That is none other than the Monolith Soft new IP of some sort. It doesn't have a name, we don't know what it is, but I'm hoping to see it tomorrow. Now, Xenoblade Chronicles X, I love it, but it is an old game. It was on Wii U, people played it, loved it. It's great to see it on the Nintendo Switch. But I think Monolith Soft's new IP will be at the show tomorrow. I have no idea if it will be connected to the Xenoblade series in some way, but I would love to see it. Usually Monolith Soft is always good at putting out quality titles, and they've also been great at helping Nintendo with other games, whether it's been Zelda or anything else. So yeah, seeing something from Monolith Soft tomorrow, I would absolutely love it. Looks more like a fantasy style rather than a space sci-fi narrative. But we'll have to wait and see. They were hiring people for that game up until believe it was the end of either 2023 or 24, so I think they must be getting close to wrapping up working on the game, so we should be able to see it fairly soon. Alright, moving along. Fire Emblem. Again, I'm a huge Fire Emblem fan. I've not beaten all 4 routes of 3 houses, or 5 routes if you count the DLC, nor have I finished Fire Emblem Engage. However, I really do like strategy games and positioning units and all of this. The mechanics of Fire Emblem are very, very tight and very, very fun. There's also been a rumor of a remake of the genealogy of the Holy War, which I believe is Fire Emblem 2, coming to Switch. Now again, if it does indeed come to Nintendo Switch, it'll be backwards compatible. The Switch 2 will be backwards compatible with the Switch 1. So it'll be able to run on the Switch 2. However, I think a Fire Emblem game of some sort will be shown off tomorrow, and it will be a Switch 2 exclusive. Even if it is a remake of War of the Genealogy of the Holy War. I think that'll be a Switch 2 exclusive. I mean, we didn't see it last week, so it has to be somewhere. Unless Nintendo is holding out for possibly a reveal later on in this year. Alright. Now, the Switch 1 was not perfect. Something it was missing, to many fans' chagrin, were themes. We had black, and we had white, and even the black was more of a dark gray, I suppose. Now, I don't care what form this takes, whether it's more like the 3DS, more like what you get on PlayStation, where you're hovering over a game and it shows like a backsplash of the game that you're going to be booting up or anything like that. I want to see themes. I want to see even like music for the home screen. I don't care what it is. I want to see themes on the Switch 2. I think they'll show them off tomorrow. I think we'll get an in-depth look at the UI. Who can say? I don't know. This is a prediction. I would love to see either a Mario Kart theme, or a Splatoon theme, or a Kirby theme, Metroid theme, what have you. Maybe they could mix it up like the 3DS and have 10 themes that you could have for the Switch 2 background that it cycles through, or maybe you could buy them with your platinum coins, or who knows what. I think themes are... I think that's a safe bet. Alright, time for another heavy hitter. Luigi's Mansion 4. Now, Next Level Games, the people who usually make Luigi's Mansion games, their last game was the Mario Strikers game. And Mario Strikers Battle League came out in 2022. Again, it's been 3 years. Now, that does not mean anything in the larger scheme of things. However, it takes about 3 to 5 years to make a game. If you have a solid team, that is. And you know, I think the people over at Next Level Games, they have been working on Luigi's Mansion 4 ever since Battle League came out. We didn't really get DLC for Battle League. We got a little bit. We got new characters and whatever. I don't think all of their resources went into new characters for Battle League. I think a new Luigi's Mansion game makes a lot of sense. And, you know, I like the series. I don't think I'm the biggest fan of the games, but they are fun. Really enjoyable. The first one is still probably my favorite, followed by number 3. But number 4 could take it in a wild new direction. Who can really say? I can't, because I don't work on Luigi's Mansion 4. I don't work on any games currently. But I think it would be cool to see Luigi's Mansion 4 show up tomorrow. And I hope most of you agree with that. Alright, next. Another third-party surprise. Oblivion, The Elder Scrolls 4. So, Skyrim was shown off with the Switch 1. There have been talks. I believe it's public knowledge, I'm not sure whether this is rumor or not. There is an Oblivion remake in the works. And getting that on the Nintendo Switch 2 would be absolutely huge. Again, I do not really play Elder Scrolls at all. They are way too difficult for me. But to see how powerful a Nintendo Switch 2 console is, I think having Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion remake shown off tomorrow, I think that could make a lot of people happy, a lot of people excited. I don't know if they'd show it off during the Treehouse at all, since it is an outside studio, but I think Oblivion could make a lot of sense. Also, since it is not on my bingo card, honorable mentions for third party would be GTA 6. I do not believe we are seeing that tomorrow. I think GTA 6 is being saved for Jeff Keighley's summer event. Also, Red Dead Redemption 2 would be another big swing for third parties. Or, you know, outside Nintendo games. But, yeah. Either of those would be great. They're not on my bingo card. But, if they show up tomorrow, I think fans will be very happy and very excited. Moving on. We have Kid Icarus. Alright, so we know that Sakurai again is working on something. He has quit his YouTube for the time being. He has submitted a proposal of some sort to Nintendo. Either it's a new IP, either it's Kirby, either it's Smash Brothers, or it's a new Kid Icarus. I am choosing to go for Kid Icarus because I do not believe we are ready for Smash Brothers quite yet. Possibly next year or the year after that. I think a new Kid Icarus game could be very nice on the Nintendo Switch 2 because of how the 3DS entry handled and was received. Overall, it was received fairly well, but people had the one complaint of the control scheme and how they would often get cramps when playing the 3DS entry. Now, since the Switch 2 has Joy-Con that are able to be used as mice, I think Sakurai could easily either make a Kid Icarus Uprising port using the mouse controllers, or a new game utilizing them. That way, people can have their like first-person controller with the mouse and move Pit with the joystick. I think it could make a lot of sense. I'd be happy to see it. Again, I've never played the 3DS one. I do own it. But I'd like to see Kid Icarus and Pit and Palutena and Hades and Medusa and the rest of the gang show up tomorrow. I think tomorrow is going to be pretty huge. But we are not quite done my predictions quite yet. Next, it's the mustachioed plumber himself, the big man, Mario. Now, people have been speculating back and forth, again, whether there's going to be a new Donkey Kong, whether there's going to be a new Mario, whether one's not going to be there, the other is. What would be really cool is if we get both. We get both a Donkey Kong and new 3D platformer Mario game. Now, I don't care whether it's 3D Mario as in Odyssey 2 or Galaxy 3 or a new entry. Maybe they'll make it open world like Bowser's Fury. I hope not. People like that game. I could see potential there. But I like, self-contained sandbox worlds. I don't think Mario necessarily fits the open world game concept. I could be proven wrong. But I think seeing 3D Mario would make a lot of people happy. Now, do they save it for another direct of some sort? Because we know that the Mario movie is coming out not this year, but the year after, 2026. Could they do a big Mario event showcasing both 3D Mario, the Mario movie, and I don't know, something else. Maybe a new Mario Lego set. Absolutely. Would I love to see Mario tomorrow? You betcha. I don't know if we'll be collecting Power Moons or stars or whatever. I love Mario a lot. I know many other people do. Some people don't care for him. I don't know. I'm a big fan of Mario and I'd love to see a new 3D entry. And if it does show up tomorrow, I'll make a second prediction here. It's not going to be on the bingo card, so don't worry about that. I think if Mario's shown off tomorrow, I think it'll be a holiday game. Alright. That's right, Nintendo GameCube on Nintendo Switch Online. Now, I think Nintendo will be revamping and boosting the Nintendo Switch Online functionality in some way, whether it's improved online capabilities or adding more things to the Switch Online service, like voice chat or what have you. Maybe also like a social media hub of some sort. But if we are not getting Wind Waker HD, Twilight Princess HD, we already got Paper Mario, the remake at least. There are a lot of great games on GameCube. And rather than remastering all of them, I would love to see Nintendo GameCube come to Nintendo Switch Online. Playing through Mario Parties 4, 5, 6, and 7 on the service, or playing Mario Kart Double Dash, or again, even playing the original Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. There's a lot of great games on Nintendo Switch, on the Nintendo GameCube. I got my wires crossed there for a moment. I think the GameCube has so many great entries it deserves a spot as one of the Nintendo Switch Online's consoles that, is there. My other choice was Dreamcast, but I don't think Sega and Nintendo are quite ready for that quite yet. I would love to see Dreamcast as well. Big Sonic Adventure 2 guy over here, but that's not happening. Hey, how's it going? Wow, it's RG. Hope you're doing well. Gosh dang it. Yeah, sorry. No Dreamcast tomorrow, I don't think. I mean, I'd love it, but I don't think it's happening. If it is, I will pop off as much as you will, I think. Although I think you might pop off slightly more. Alright. Moving on. Pretty awesome looking bingo card so far. Thank you very much. Alright. Have to save another big one for the bottom row. The Mother 3. We keep asking Nintendo for Mother 3. It's probably not happening. However, this is my bingo card. I make predictions however I see fit. Again, I don't think it's happening. Mother 3 is like the holy grail of RPGs that people keep asking Nintendo for. There's a lot of stuff in that game that doesn't make it, stand up for today's purposes. But Mother 3, I think, would be really cool to see tomorrow. And I don't know. I don't think Nintendo would do it, but again, a guy can hope. Alright, 2 left. 2 left. What's this? The bottom row is just like a banger after banger. We have Xbox Game Pass. So, we know that Xbox and Nintendo have been working closely together. But something that would make everyone shit their pants would be Xbox Game Pass coming to Nintendo Switch. So then the Switch 2 would be, yes, even this is an Xbox. I mean, who can say? There are so many great titles on Game Pass. It would be a way for Microsoft to make sure that they get more subscribers to the service. And yeah, I don't know. I just think people would be like popping off. That's basically what I did with this bottom row. It's like these are all things that would make people pop off. And there's a lot of quality legacy titles on Game Pass, whether it's the Banjo and Kazooie or I believe Conker's also on there. Yeah, Game Pass has quite a lot, and that'd be huge. It actually makes sense now that you mention it. Yeah. Alright. Time for the last one. Who's this character? Now, I'm not sure if any of you have played the Wii U. It was a very niche system. Now, this character is called Monita, and she is from Nintendo Land. Now, while I am hoping for a Nintendo Land game of some sort, I'm not sure if Nintendo Land 2 will necessarily be there tomorrow. However, what I hope to encompass by using this character is that there will be some sort of Nintendo cross Nintendo game. I don't care what it is. But it either has to be one, a new Nintendo Land game that would get the point, or a new IP of some sort, utilizing all brand new Nintendo characters, like having, like, not a Smash Brothers, because we've already had that, but something new that uses pre-existing characters. Or it could even be a game using Amiibo. I don't think that will happen, but I think people would be happy to see another Nintendo Cross game. So yeah, that is my bingo card. It's gonna be a great show tomorrow. I have no idea what we're gonna see. Nintendo's been advertising this on their app, their Nintendo Today app, ever since the Switch Direct happened last week. And yeah, they've been advertising this for quite a while. I think it's going to be a good show. I hope all of you are excited, and Wow It's RG is excited as well. We'll have to wait and see what happens tomorrow. I'll be going live with my thoughts tomorrow, with a pre-show starting at 8:30. I'm gonna be tired first thing in the morning. I'm not used to waking up early, but I think it's gonna be fun. I can't wait to see what is shown off of the system itself. I don't think we'll get any technical jargon, but I think it'll be a lot of fun. I'm hoping to see a ton of games. And we'll see how many things on my bingo card come true. I don't know. We'll see. So, if you have any questions or comments or things that you'd like me to talk about, please go ahead and drop them in the chat now. Otherwise, I will call this a stream, call this a podcast episode, and we'll wrap it up there. I think we're in for a treat tomorrow, you guys, and I honestly can't wait. Yeah. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I went to the grocery store earlier and picked up all my treats for the next 2 or 3 days, so I am good to go. And as such, I guess it is time for me to do my wrap-up. Thank you very much to Bloody Hunter Sarp, and any lurkers over on the Twitch side. Thank you to Wow It's RG, and any lurkers over on the YouTube side. If you liked it, hit the subscribe button. If you loved it, hit the like button. You know the drill. You don't need me to go over this again. I'll see all of you tomorrow for what may possibly be one of the most exciting Nintendo Directs of all time. And until then, try and get some sleep, and take care of yourselves, take care of one another, and I shall see you again very soon. Bye for now.